Hey everyone, it's Garrison here, and welcome back to the channel or the Patreon. Hopefully you're having a good new year so far, so happy new year. And you already know this is the time of year where I'll be sharing my top 23 K-pop songs, or title tracks I should say, of 2023. Now mind you, this is more so of a personal list as per usual, so please don't get offended if your number one top song did not make this list, because we all have our personal tastes. A lot of added bias in this list, but also an objective standpoint where I included groups and artists that I'm not a huge big fan of, more so just a casual listener, because I appreciate over these years of what K-pop has really done artistically and all, whether it be concept wise, artistic standpoint when it comes to the production of these certain releases, comebacks, and debuts. But not gonna lie, this was quite the up and down year, but I really want to highlight my favorite moments that occurred for 2023 for K-pop title tracks. So with that being said, I did extend the honorable mentions list this time around. I know you guys were poking at me for not mentioning UA last time around, and certain groups and artists and releases that I said I had to include on my year-end list. But this time around, I did a little bit more vetting. Hopefully, all that time was worthwhile, and this moment right here is worthwhile to check out. So let me know in the comment section down below if you end up having one of these certain releases and songs, title tracks on your list as well that connect closely on my list. But hey, with that being said, let's dive into my presentation here of my top 23 K-pop title tracks of 2023, both comebacks and debuts, everyone. So honorable mentions right away here, we have Just Be, right? And their amazing comeback with Medusa. Oh, Medusa. I absolutely love the full-throated vocal delivery and emotive performance that they provide in this song. If you saw their year-end performance, you know, but for this particular song, it took me by storm when I was checking them out on my K-pop catch-up videos out there. One of the two that I've put out last year. And this song really catches you off guard with not only the rock influence, but just how their lines are delivered from each and every single respective member. So if you guys haven't checked out this song yet, or my coverage of this song, be sure to do so by Just Be, Medusa. Moving on to the next honorable mention, this won't be a list in itself at all if I did not include New Jeans. And I'm not saying for the sake of including New Jeans, I'm saying they're having a one hell of a year. They had one hell of a year, and they're gonna have another one hell of a year. But you know, in 2023, very difficult to choose. OMG, ETA, Super Shy, you name it. You can't go wrong with any of their music, but I personally leaned more towards ETA with more and more listens over the weeks and months, because I absolutely love how playful and quirky this song is due to the vocal delivery, unconventional vocal delivery, but also that brass work that I love here and there constantly going on in this song. And don't even get me started with the fun verses that play out and the trending meme that's tied along dialogue wise for this particular song. So essentially, for those who don't know, truly takes a nice fun pop dance contemporary R&B route with it, with a lot of break beat influences that they've been really accustomed to do so. So with that being said, I'm really interested in what they're gonna do. Are they gonna do something completely different like Gods, that collaboration they did for League of Legends, of course? Who knows? But I just know they're gonna really level up their craft and themselves into the new year, of course. Moving on to a gem and a half song here Rose Blossom by High Key, everyone. Now, I was so happy to see High Key finally get their flowers, but also have this trending moment where they've been going up slowly but surely on the charts with Rose Blossom, and it's well deserved to the emotion that's being delivered in this song. The almost like 21 influence. They really threw it back with me with the lyrics and just the delivery in this song and how it was produced and all. It felt very 21 B-side-esque for those who are familiar with 21's discography and all. And not only that, this was a very meaningful song for those who saw my reaction and review for the music video for Rose Blossom. And I really hope they end up topping themselves into the new year, because their latest, release didn't get as much love, IMO, but I felt like those specific like pre-release and title track wise were quite gems as well. So if you guys haven't checked out their latest releases and songs or discography as a whole, I highly recommend you guys do so. Moving on to the next honorable mention, of course, we have P1 Harmony's Jump. Really fun song. Not gonna lie, it didn't stick with me, if I recall correctly, upon first listen, but with more and more listens, this was truly a grower of a song. It's straightforward to the point where you could simply groove and just have a good time, and jump along. This is music that honestly, in my humblest opinion, we need more of, and just not making things so intricate, overly intricate, over the top, over grandioso, or in your face, which is a really common trend that I feel like is not so necessarily like it's being done to the point where it has to be essential almost, you know what I'm saying, for the industry. But like, this was such a fun release and a song that I could just play a back on due to its longevity and memorable moments that occur in this song, everyone. Note something else, P1 Harmony is going to be on my B-sides. I don't want to spoil too much, but that's a note right there. Of course, we have Chill Kill by Red Velvet, really wrapping up last year really well. I was about to say this year because I'm still not ready to move on from the releases from last year, but Chill Kill by Red Velvet, oh my goodness, it ain't a spectacular year without Red Velvet. I, most importantly, was so glad to see Red Velvet together and having a comeback, because what's up with SM with the lack of comebacks, the timing of things, not gonna lie, they're really slowing it down a bit, and with the drama behind the scenes drama. But anyways, Chill Kill, definitely a high-level moment. I'm definitely gonna have to dive into the B-sides, because I know at the end of the day, Red Velvet's B-sides do not miss, so stay tuned for that album review. I do apologize if I end up, hearing like a Song of the Year type B-side and not including my top B-sides, because I'm gonna be doing that first before I dive into their album. SOS by Kang Daniel. SOS. This song, I love how cohesive it is with the music video itself. It's almost like a full-blown action movie. Can we appreciate that for a moment? And the acting was so on point by Kang Daniel himself. And I've been saying this in the past before, since day one. The fact that he has evolved over time, showed his craft, and really show what he's all about, and has become really hands-on with his works is everything. I think just the one note that I want to put out there is like, because Yuju is within the same label and all, I would love a cool collaboration by the two of them. That still needs to happen, because I thought about it in the first place. Let's just get it into fruition, everyone. Another honorable mention. This was really difficult, not gonna lie. I was either gonna put Sweet Juice in honorable mentions or in my top 23, but I'm mentioning them here regardless, because they had one hell of a year, especially the likes of Swan with her solo debut, remarkable debut that is a gem and a half song. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, be sure to do so. And an incredible run by Yuki to debut in L's Up. I just hope that, you know, things, you know, still work with that kind of dynamic. I'm sure of it. But Purple Kiss, they deserve their flowers for Sweet Juice. And the B-sides that I'm going to have to talk about in that B-side video, because their B-sides always have been delivering for me. And not only to mention about that, their concepts, their thrilling concepts, and just how they're simply doing their own thing and not doing whatever's like trending out there is something that I can really appreciate about, but also something that you can rarely find these days from groups and artists in general. So you gotta give Purple Kiss their flowers for Sweet Juice. Now, of course, I believe this is my nearing the end of my honorable mentions. Puzzlin'. Okay, Puzzle by SF9. They're having a comeback real soon, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm so excited for that. But super duper earwormy, catchy song, sleek, sophisticated, engaging performance throughout. This is one hell of a song that you can keep on repeat. I highly recommend this song for those who haven't checked out this song, and especially if you're gonna check out this song, you should check out the music video first beforehand, before streaming the song, of course. So that's a huge one. New Emotions by Infinite, I had to mention them. I also want to, quick side note, mention D&D by A-Pink. I was surprised seeing that was actually released in that year, in year of 2023. A lot of great reunions, but also comebacks that you wouldn't expect, you know, but the wait was well worth it. Am I right, fellow in spirits? Because New Emotions was truly a special comeback where it really utilizes Infinite's signature sound, but also takes this modern approach due to Ryan Jun, a producer, individual that I don't mess with. You guys can do the research of why I don't mess with him. I just hope, you know, the next go around, assumingly by Infinite or any of the members, we don't work with Ryan Jun again, but this song really sticks with it in the grooves, in the right pockets of moments, and I love the overall sections in this particular song. And don't even get me started with the album that's tied along to New Emotions by Infinite. Now let's start off this list. Number 23. At number 23, we have Honestly by Limelight, everyone. A heartfelt debut that right from the start, you knew it was gonna be special. First couple seconds in, several seconds in, and a minute in, just from the soaring melody that gets to you, the heartwarming vocal delivery and execution by simply 3 of these members, mind you. The fact that this group has so much stage presence and presence as a group with only 3 members is something remarkable and needs to be talked about more before, of course, after they have their comeback in the new year, into adding more members that I'm gonna be really super duper excited about. And just knowing that, like, iKON, one of my top ultimate boy groups out there, is under the same label as everything. But moving on and staying on point here, honestly, 10 out of 10 longevity, quality vocals, everyone. So I had to include them somewhere on this list, and we're gonna, you know, start off with 23 there. So number 22, Heartbeat by Tan. This group continues to surprise me with each and every single release. Ever since their debut, they've been doing so. I really described this song, as you can tell here, as electronic goodness, right? This song has this electrifying electro beat that really gets you reminiscent of one of the most iconic K-pop songs out there, Superhuman by NCT, of course. But at the same time, I really love how they brought back that golden age era of second gen kind of feel to it. And I think that's due to how they not only the production, how they carry themselves in this song with the vocal delivery. Like, the vocal delivery just clicks. It works. It really feels in unison, right? But like, I highly, highly, highly recommend this song if you guys haven't checked it out yet, because it's one hell of a banger. Number 21. Oh my goodness. I had to include Kiss of Life somewhere on this list, whether it be for Bad News or their alternative title track or promotional track. Of course, nobody knows, but Bad News, vocals, vocals, vocals. I've been saying it since the beginning that this group is gonna be overflowing with talent, and I love how so far, right, with the solo tracks leading into this comeback with Bad News, of course, they came through with a song that fully utilizes their talents to the full, right? Strong vocal work, amazing, spectacular rap by the likes of Julie, full-throated vocal delivery, and at the same time, there's this cool bluesy twang and attitude that they can do. And this has to be one of the few girl groups that can act where, you know, mature concepts and like stage presence, I should say, works for them. You know what I'm saying? It's appropriate, right? And they do carry it with their, you know, own vocal colors at the same time. So this is one hell of a gem of a group that you guys got to keep your eyes on into the new year. And I did an album review, and that was one hell of an album review. I remember that, the likes of TTG. Number 20, I had to include, okay, Spicy on this. They truly came through with a robust summer track from the overall dynamic production, this crazy electro bass movement that goes in the song that's so nonstop and looping. You gotta love that addictive energy that occurs, and just these satisfying textures, right, that occur here and there. And of course, memorable verses with the likes of verse 2 in Spicy. So aespa had one hell of a year. I just hope, you know, they get more resources by SM. I've been saying this for SM artists to my friends that, like, SM needs to step up on their part and properly support their artists. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to number 19, Knock by Lee Chaeyeon. This comeback suited her perfectly, like a well-fitted glove, everyone. I called this an epic dance track where it exceeded expectations, where it met our expectations, but like provided more added material that is so engaging in this song, from the addictive rhythm to a really well balanced produced track where it highlights Lee Chaeyeon's dancing skills, her movements in the choreography for this song, and all, especially the music video and the angles that they're doing in the close-ups and all. And of course, there's a great balance between that and showcasing her vocals. So this was one hell of a epic dance track. I keep saying one hell of a, but I'm only speaking facts here. Am I right, guys? Now, of course, from number 19, moving on to number 18, we have Chasarang's Shining Bright. I labeled this as a sugary and refreshing song, okay? For those who saw my reaction and review to the song, I mentioned some references, whether it be Lovely's G-Friend Laboom back in the day. I was talking about, you know, the signature sound and style that Chasarang is carrying on. They're carrying the torch and legacy, and we more than love to hear it and see it. But also, specifically this release definitely had that SNSD influence. For those who know, yeah, no. If you don't see the reaction and review to the music video from myself on the channel here, clear, fluid production where we get to hear each and every single member shine in their moments in the song. I love how overly, like, overall wise, it is melodic, I should say, and especially how beautiful the lyrics are, to the point where in combination from the beautiful lyrics to how they carry themselves, right, with all that earnesty, got me, you know, tearing up by the end of the music video and song. Not gonna lie. Now, as we move on to number 17, we have this beautiful, remarkable story from Luna as a whole. And what happened out of that was Lucemble. Lucemble with Sensitive was a quirky, fun title track that suited them so much. It was smooth, fluid, languid, to the point where they were able to really shine with their so-called stylish vocals that I want to mention in this. To that, and then don't even get me started with the satisfying propulsion that occurs in this song. The song is everything, and don't even get me started with the little bit of percussion moments here and there that provide that extra added ear candy that you like in this song. So this was amazing, as well as the B-sides tied along to Sensitive, whether it be Strawberry Soda and such. Number 16, Air Force One by Odd Eye Circle. Truly the definition of aesthetics, I'd have to say. Satisfying throughout the start to finish in this song, and that's due to, number one, the dynamic production or percussion work, I should say. The overall production is dynamic with it here and there, but the percussion work, most importantly, yet again. See a fitting pattern here? I do lean towards title tracks that have cool percussion work in the mix. Your song doesn't always need percussion work, but when there is, sometimes it can be very special. Smooth transitions amongst the members that worked so well in the music video, I've got to admit, and that catchy post-chorus that sticks with me still to this day into the new year. And don't even get me started with the switch up that occurs in verse 2, one of the most top memorable verse 2s of this year, dare I say. Number 15, we have Chasing That Feeling. Listen, the passion in this performance for this song, and this song in general, is everything, right? From the classic synth pop influences, the chugging that occurs in the pre-chorus. One of my top favorite moments in the song would have to be the pre-chorus, and of course the chorus in this song. You love to see it, right? There's that passion, almost that MJ-esque attitude and passion that you love and know by MJ himself, right? And most importantly, with all of that, you have this longevity value to it that is so 10 out of 10. You can never get sick and tired of this song. I promise you that. Like, I've been streaming this song so often here and there, still even into the new year, not gonna lie. Number 14, with Galileo by Kepler. Honestly, you can go with one or two of there's certain comebacks that they had last year, but this song I absolutely felt like is more so up there, right next to Up. It's right slotted right underneath for a neck and neck there. It's a funky and fun, groovy song where, honestly, in my humblest opinion, where the energy suits them the best. For those who are familiar with their Japanese releases, we wanted certain Japanese releases to be like quality wise end up to be like a full-pledged comeback in the K-pop scene. Hopefully get some sort of comeback like that in the future, but I'm more than looking forward to their next release into the new year. But with that being said, Galileo, from the layered blending of the backing vocals to the song to the clever brass additions that are being plotted here and there, and the super catchy hooks, this song is amazing, everyone. And that 1+1, that iconic verse 2 to the bridge and the interlude that we get in the song, those would have to be my personal favorite moments that occur in this song by Kep1er, one special group that I've followed ever since the Survival Show days. Now, I had to take a sip of water here because there's a lot to talk about throughout all my top favorite title tracks that occurred last year. And of course, we have Bon Voyage by Dreamcatcher, aka a meaningful anthem, not gonna lie, and one of my it was top 3, right, in my Spotify Wrapped played songs. It was either number 1, 2, or 3 if I recall correctly. I think it was number 2. But yes, this point in time where we get to see Dreamcatcher experiment even more, especially as of recently after Bon Voyage, is so cool. And I love how they took up this progressive rock route where it really works as their peak apocalypse trilogy, you know, the whole trilogy and all. But like, I can't express enough, in the right pockets and the moments, there's much stress added in the emotional delivery of the moments, whether it's by the likes of course, Xian, Right, or Suwa. The emotional delivery is so on point to the really hard-hitting moments and all hard in the paint per se. There's just a great balance there in those special vocal moments and just in the overall vocal arrangement to this song. So we more than love to see it, and I can't wait to see what's in store for Dreamcatcher into the new year of 2024. All right, from number 13 to number 12, we have Vroom Vroom by Weekly. I would call this the bounce back of the year, even though we waited so long to end up in Queendom Puzzle, to end up waiting a little bit more for Good Day, that anthem of a fan song that I absolutely love, despite working with Ryan Jun, of course. But moving into Vroom Vroom, definitely a bounce back of the year. Love the dynamic vocal direction and the immaculate pop hooks that is very signature to Weekly, aside from what I've said of them in the past before. And just the melancholy and refreshing feel that you get in this song is so good. But if there's anything that I want to see Weekly build off of, is to have this sophisticated yet mature approach into their next comeback. I think this is a good, restarting point almost, where they could build off of and showcase even more. So something like along the lines of that, or backwards even. Ooh, if you're talking about backwards, we're gonna have another 10 out of 10 song into the new year. And then, yeah, it's pretty much another anthem for all of us, where I felt like the lyrics were meaningful. So if you guys haven't seen my review to Vroom Vroom, be sure to do so. A lot of exclusive weekly variety content on the Patreon as well. Now we have Roller Coaster by NMIX. Now, I know, if I recall correctly, this was more so of a pre-release, but I felt like this was quite groundbreaking with the combination of chill house almost, but with quite a bit of garage influences. This is definitely more so the most subdued approach song by NMIX, I would say, out of their other releases, but we more than love to see it. I felt like this really suited them well. The melodies are beautiful. I loved Bei's moments in this song, Haewon's moments in this song. fun, quirky, but hey, like I said, groundbreaking, and that's my humblest opinion. Still, Roller Coaster, definitely one of my most played songs from last year. Okay, moving on to number 10, we got Bubble by Stacy, everyone. Not only this song did something special to me, the music video as well, seeing how the choreography played out and the performance as a whole. Just in the screenshot alone with the castle and all the cast members that were having fun. I mean, like, pointing towards individuality, expressing that, and just like coming through and evolving this teen fresh sound that we love and know by Stacy is everything, right? You get this sugar rush feeling, almost like a sugary, refreshing beverage, I would like to say, and you especially get this nostalgic feel from second and almost third gen within this song, the way they carry themselves vocally, and I think a lot of that has to do due to the vocal direction from BEP and the 10 out of 10 production that we always get by them. And I say that because in the production, you're always gonna get these fun theatrical moments by Stacy, but in this particular song, the laser beam synths are to die for in this particular song. Wow, we already hit number 10, but moving on to number 9, Jèsus finally with a comeback, and I love how she's pacing herself, though even though this comeback took quite some time, you gotta admit, this had to be a runway club type beat anthem, everyone. Just the Euro dance beat movement to the song is so addictive and catchy that you can't help but dance along and just put a smile on your face seeing how the voguing plays out, and all such a fun performance and an engaging performance for all, especially if you saw her year-end performance. One of the best dynamic pre-choruses out there, I'd say, as a whole from last year, everyone. So Jèsus, you gotta give flowers to her for this amazing release, and hopefully she delivers something similar along the lines of this, or even levels up into the new year, and hopefully the comeback doesn't happen or take too long. You feel me? It doesn't take too long. Of course, I had to include Unforgiven by LE SSERAFIM. I'd like to call this the anthem for all, because for those who saw my coverage of the lyrics for this song, very empowering and inspiring. It really talks about embracing your unconventional qualities, sure, maybe your flaws as well, but not being, afraid to show those, but also to challenge the status quo, more so for like challenging of what you feel is wrong and what you feel like is more so of the right of things in society, right? But you gotta admit, the featuring with Nile Rodgers, from the ocarina work to Nile Rodgers' funky guitar lines, really adds a lot of drive and fun, spirited moments that we get in the song. And something to mention for those who don't know, I feel like Nile Rodgers really made a statement for himself prior to this over the years, and shifted and influenced music for what it is today. Modern music for where it is today, especially when it comes to guitar work in certain songs. So yes, Unforgiven, number 8 by LE SSERAFIM, number 7, Bouncy by ATEEZ. We cannot forget about this song, right? I call this the iconic demolition song, alright? Because it has that perfect, and I say perfect, aggressive production to a point where it's not too overwhelming, it's fun with it, because I've heard too many title tracks that are too over the top, too aggressive with it. Some people like to mention the word loud with it, but it's true, I've got to admit, for certain releases with ad-lib work, and such, but they always do it to a certain extent and the right amount. You feel me? I've been saying that in the past before, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. I'm pretty sure I said it recently. Crazy distortion that works well with the fun, crazy moments that occur in the music video in itself. And the chorus is such an impactful statement, but as a whole, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this was a fun, daring, and dangerous release where it really sticks as a title track, right? Number 6, we have Yanoya by Billy. For those who know, one of my gem of a solo artist out there, Yuha, took part on this song. You could really sense her influence on this song. But yet again, you know, Billy delivered another title track that is quite experimental with it, more so, but groovy at the same time. What I love about this song, there's a great balance in the rap moments, impactful rap verses, and vocal flourishes to the groove that's being set in this song, right? And you gotta admit too, the offbeat hooks are done in the right kind of manner in this song to the quirky delivery that Billy is truly known for. If you think about the Ginga Minga Yo days, like I've mentioned in the past before, the likes of Flipping a Coin, one of my top favorite B-sides still to this day that I keep in my rotation. And then don't even get me started with the dreamy chords that occur in this song. So really well-deserved to be in my top 10 echelon, one of my top, I would say top 5 or top 10 most played songs off of my Spotify Wrapped Everyone. Alright, moving on to number 5. I think From Us 9 had number 5 last year as well, but this was well-deserved with hashtag me now. Now, this was a really special moment in time where From Us 9 finally came through with their first full-pledged album. For those who saw my first ever video essay, or my second ever video essay if I recall correctly, I was rooting for From Us 9 all the way, especially ever since the Survival Show days and to being in a part of multiple labels where they've been mistreated. Still to this day, they're mistreated. I don't like how people are playing this a card where they're so lucky to be on this label right now. I mean, one comeback, lack of food for thought for their light stick. I can go on a whole rant of things, but the truth be told, this was a special moment in time. Uplifting emotional rush that I absolutely love in this song, to the smooth vocals that occur on the melodies, a bit of disco influence in this song, and of course an unstoppable chorus that provides that uplifting emotional rush in the first place, tied along to a beautiful concept. And I'm glad, you know, all of the members and Yuri are finally finding their flowers. It's just a matter of time and more resources where, you know, they're going to end up shining more. And hopefully, maybe in March, we'll have a comeback by From Us 9. That'd be a beautiful, at least, birthday gift for myself, y'all. Number 4, we have Rising by Triple S. Really difficult choice to choose. I could go with any of their subunit songs, of course, that dropped this year, whether it be Girls Capitalism, Invincible that I mentioned in my year-end wrap-up video, where I was doing a song guessing game. If you guys haven't seen that, that was a fun bit and moment that I did in a separate video. But Rising had to include the whole group in the mix now, especially now we've wrapped up with all the members, I believe. And yeah, this is such an signature song that sets the tone for their identity as a whole for a group, in my humblest opinion, where they're always gonna come through with their effortlessly cool style and presence in their songs, right? It has this trendy touch that I'd like to call by the Mono Tree Collective in terms of their production, and it utilizes the group's talents and charisma, that overflowing charisma that we more than love to see in this particular song. A lot of catchy, earwormy, candy moments that occur in this song. And don't even get me started with the backup vocals, the backing vocals, and the percussion in this music that's integrated so seamlessly and perfect in this song. So had to give Rising by Triple S number 4 and all of their subunit title tracks. Yes, all of their subunit tracks, because their B-sides, you're gonna see a lot of them on my top 23 B-sides of last year. Not gonna lie. Wow, that's all my water, but we're nearing the end here. We're on the final stretches. We have Killer by Key and Circle by Onew. I would also put Guilty by Taemin and The Feeling by SHINee, or their entire album as a whole. And this is why I listed this, this is SHINee's year. If there was one group that really shined last year, it was SHINee. And just to really tackle specifically these releases, Killer by Key, a sleek synth banger and a half. It has this driving electronic beat that you absolutely love. About almost 4 minutes of pure energy that occurs in this song. It's rare for anyone to see a title track to go to that kind of certain extent, unless it's the likes of Lucy, that one special boy band that I love still to this day. They had an incredible year as well. That's something to mention. And then the other song we have here is Circle by Onew. I said so much of how meaningful this song was, from the beautiful orchestral work into this evergreen feel that you get with each and every single listen doesn't feel always the same, mind you. And that's due to his beautiful vocal color work in the song, to the choir-like work, to the almost like church-like organ that occurs in the song. So really clever usage of certain kind of instrumentation and orchestral work within Circle by Onew. But I had to put the both of them. I couldn't fit Taemin and their overall release here, but you guys know now. Number 2, Feel Me by Golden Child, okay? Right? Whether it be Drippin', whether it be Golden Child, it seems like they always end up making my list every single year, and that's with many reasons. This song is rich in quality and longevity. I mean, you look at the storyline of the music video, it's so cohesive with the lyrics in the song, and this is what I always look at in songs that I'm gonna enjoy, right? Does it have that replay value? Does it take the extra mile? If it does, great, we more than love to see it, where the lyrics are meaningful, where everything's cohesive in the mix and everything's mastered well in the song sonically, right? It takes this propulsive rock route, especially it has this atmospheric, nostalgic feel where all the members are providing an emotive performance throughout the entire song and music video, acting wise as well. And of course, last but not least, it got me so reminiscent of Infinite's songs back in the day, but especially specifically speaking, NCTU's Without You. What was it, like back in 2016, 2017 when that released? Incredible some reference point there, but that's what it got me feeling, right? This very atmospheric, nostalgic feel. Yeah, just definition of nostalgia pretty much. But drum roll please, leading into number 1, and here we are, number 1, I Am by IVE. Okay, listen, for those who saw my album review to their first full album, IVE, wow, that felt like album of the year, and it ended up being album of the year, at least for me. And it just seemed like, at the very start with their debut, I was taking this group with a grain of salt, because I was expecting to eventually just become a casual listener for IVE. But look, here where I am right now, I am absolutely in love with their discography from start to finish, back in the early days until now, with the likes of Blue Blood and all of their B-sides. This song is so good to the point where I couldn't fit all my points on this slide, not gonna lie, but I can say that this was a masterpiece. And also 3 points that I want to mention here. Three of my main points that I want to mention here for IVE. Their production, what kind of production you're always gonna get by IVE? You're gonna get 10 out of 10 production, always, continuously. Whether you like it or not, biased wise, like the likes of Baddie, where it's not everyone's favorite and it's gonna be more so trendy, at least you have another track that's gonna be super duper meaningful. And if you don't like that, you have another track where it's gonna really utilizes IVE's talents to the fullest. And one of the best influences that they've been doing really well is those retro influences from the 80s and 90s. But honestly, in my humblest opinion, as shown on this slide here, the most exciting girl group currently to this day. Last year they were, now into this year they're going to continue to do so, I'm sure of it. I even liked their other releases outside the K-pop scene and their special releases as well. You're always going to get that consistent quality of arrangements in their music. I felt like, you know, all of their songs, you know, it's very unconventional sometimes when it comes to their B-sides, title track wise. You can never predict their type of arrangements, not in like a super duper switch up kind of manner, but in more so of a fitting manner where it's not going to be too jarring and overwhelming. And last but not least, the third point here is that they're simply doing their own thing. They're not turning heads, checking out, hey, what's trending now? I'm going to try to do that, because I feel like there's so much cookie cutter, copycat type releases, and this is not due to certain members of groups by any means. It's due to the A&R, it's due to these various level tiers of companies where they feel like we got to do something trendy out there. But like, sure, you know, when it comes to IVE's releases, genre wise, it's been done before out there beyond the K-pop scene, but I love how they're integrating those certain kind of influences and genres while also being experimental from time to time and meaningful with their right intentional type of releases of songs in their discography. So like IVE, you gotta give them their flowers, and I've become a huge fan of their music. That is such a huge thing when it comes to IVE and Triple S. I'd say those two groups, Luna as a whole, number 3, Shiny, number 4, I would say ATEEZ, number 5, not in any particular order, number 6 from its 9, full album wise. Wow. And also Triple S discography wise. It's been an incredible year with all of those specific artists album wise, and I feel like they're really pushing the envelope. They're really making a statement with their music, especially IVE, right? They don't seem to miss at all. I even enjoyed a Baddie to a certain extent for those who saw my coverage and all. But yes, number 1, probably not surprisingly enough, but I think IM has to be in one level of tier in your list personally. I feel like be sure to let me know if it was number 1 for you as well. But hey, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it goes a long way and it helps out the channel. This has been one hell of a year from 2023, moving on to 2024, where we already got releases, pre-releases. I love how we get pre-releases these days because it really sets up groups and solo artists really well. But expect more soloists and certain gems of songs in my top 23 of 2023 K-pop B-sides in a separate video, where there will be a mini listening party per se. So stay tuned for that. Take care as always. Hopefully you enjoyed my list here. Please don't get offended at all, like I mentioned at the start of this video. And I can't wait for all these groups and artists and soloists beyond this video that I've covered to really find more success and to really show what they're all about. And I can't express this enough, in their own type of manner, in their own kind of identity. You feel me? But take care as always, and peace.